Illegally Deaf is a podcast about overcoming obstacles. I'm Danny Burnside, and just this year, I was diagnosed with severe hearing loss. Oh, did I mention I'm a professional Hollywood voice actor? Funny how that goes. I've made the decision to own my disability and interview remarkable guests who are thriving in light of being disabled. Welcome to the Illegally Deaf podcast. So guys, a little background about me real quick. The reason I created the Illegally Deaf podcast is because just within this past year, I have been diagnosed with moderate to severe bilateral mixed hearing loss. So moderate to severe is the severity of the diagnosis. Bilateral means it's in both of my ears. And mixed meaning there's two types of hearing loss. A layman's term is one can be hereditary based, perhaps, problem with the instrument. The other can be due to consistent exposure to loud environments. Well, I've got both. Drum roll, please. I've got both types of hearing loss in both of my ears, and it's a moderate to severe diagnosis. Now, the reason this is somewhat remarkable, I suppose, and the reason the show is called Illegally Deaf Podcast is because I'm a professional voice actor. I've been LA-based for 20 years. I moved to LA when I was 20 years old. I'm currently 41 as the time of this show airing. And I've been involved with voice acting for just around 15 years. I started off doing theater, got into hosting, so like live event hosting from music festivals, motorcycle shows, that type of thing. Did a couple television pilots that never got picked up. But on the set of one of the pilots, the producers asked me, it was just like some dating show, some random 10 folks in a home, who's going to hook up. I was the male host. And after we wrapped the pilot presentation, the producers approached me and said, hey, we love your voice. We've got another show we're producing that needs a promo. Promo is like a voiceover that teases the show on a specific network. They said, would you be willing to lay down the voiceover for us pro bono? Pro bono means no pay, but you would get copy and credit and it would be like your first voiceover job. Of course, I said yes. Literally, guys, the next morning, we recorded the promo for that show. I had never even recorded in a professional studio before. Now, I was a singer growing up, choir and vocal jazz, so I had experience on a mic. But this was my first VO job, and it came the way of hosting. So it's kind of unique, isn't it, to be a voice actor who's hard of hearing, right? So that's why I titled it Illegally Deaf. Now, this show is more than just hard of hearing. It's not just for folks who are partially deaf or totally deaf, but in our industry, it's kind of illegal to be deaf. You don't really hear about voice actors who are partially deaf. So that's kind of the illegal part. That's why I thought it was a funny name. We're not really supposed to be deaf in this industry. We're kind of illegally deaf.
It's a crazy world.